Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And what an absolutely fantastic morning it is here in Zakynthos today. And today's Monday, and it is the start of what the Greeks call Big Week. Yeah, the week getting ready for Easter. Just to remind you that this Sunday is our Easter Sunday. So we are now well into the Greek Orthodox celebrations that are going on. Well, it looks like we're going to have a nice week for it as well from the looks of the weather. And as you can see, it's absolutely clear blue skies. Lovely Maria Hallberg over there in Sweden looking in. Obviously, blue skies, just a touch of cloud, no danger of rain at the moment. In fact, we're forecast to have good weather at the moment, which is really, really nice. And it's about time and all. Because last week, as you're aware, our weather was really hit and miss. In fact, the UK was having better weather than us last week. So anyway, that's it. Looking out towards Kerry and Lockerbie. Pantocrator as well is in that direction as well. And it's looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. And all the chickens are running around, playing about. No sign of our little chicks that were resurrected. We think we may have unfortunately lost them. Yeah, such is life, unfortunately. And when we look across to the other side as well, little Nelly there lying out in the sun, just basking, enjoying. It is really warm at the moment. It's a beautiful day. Jane and I, we went up to Sillavi yesterday for a walk along the beach, and we walked all the way around Sillavi. We also walked past Magdalena's. Dennis was there, busy away working. Also, Yanni's back as well. Bless him. He's come back. So the two of them were busy sorting out the rooms, getting ready for the opening. All the thing we're waiting for at the moment is for Boris to do his announcement as to where do the British stand in coming to Greece. And we will be ready to rock and roll. As soon as he says it's a green light, you're coming, trust it. We will be open, and we're really looking forward to it. So now we feel like the time is getting on that, yeah, we're soon going to be back at work. We can't believe it. We're going to have Easter and then we're going to be back to work. No time to enjoy ourselves before we go back. It'll be just straight into the fray. But anyway, we're keeping a positive on that. And of course, the weather yesterday was absolutely glorious. Not that many people down on the beach yesterday, to be quite honest, around Sillavi. It was quite quiet, to be honest. Although there were people busy working, painting, getting sorted, laying concrete, doing all sorts. But other than that, yeah. But there you go. There goes the gypsy man there. He's picked a few fridges up there from the looks of it on the back. Anyway. Let's crack on with the news. There's been a bit going on in the last 24 hours, and we'll see how things pan out. Big shout out to Denise Tyndall's looking in. Denise, also Sharon Bronlow is there as well. I saw Brian there as well. Shane Bowen, obviously, over there in Exmoor. It says, Galimera, great shows over the weekend. Can I say happy birthday to my lovely Pam? Have a great day. Happy birthday, Pam. We'll stick you in the Golden Vault. Let me know the year that she was born, Shane. I'll stick her in the Golden Vault for Wednesday. There you go. Anyway, let's crack on with the news. Let's see what's been going on in the last 24 hours here in Greece. And as I said, we are in big week this week, so we are getting closer to Easter. Anyway, it's the 26th of April. It's a Monday morning, in case you hadn't realised. It's day 171 of the lockdown. And here's the COVID stats for the last 24 hours. Now, the good thing is the COVID stats are on the way down at the moment. The last time I reported to you, we had 2,597 new infections. Well, guess what? Today, 1,400 new infections across Greece, which is good, bringing the total amount since the pandemic started to 333,129 since the pandemic started. There has been 12 new cases reported coming in through the borders. That is up on the 6 on the previous report. However, according to the national stats yesterday, there were no new cases in Lefkada. There were 2 cases in Kefalonia, 5 cases in Corfu. Now, Zakynthos was reporting 6 cases on the national statistics. However, this morning, I can't find any information to say locally how many infections there have been yesterday on Sunday. So again, that might be a late figure coming in. But at the moment, I can't find any stats on that. So I haven't adjusted my numbers. I'm still keeping my numbers at 520 positive cases since the beginning of the year. And for the month of April, 160 cases have been reported on the ground here in Zakynthos. Now, when it comes to deaths are down from the other day. We had 86 deaths across Greece the other day. You might also remember we also had a 75-year-old lady who passed away. Anyway, today I can report to you there's been 57 new deaths across Greece. Again, our condolences to the families affected. But that is a bit of a drop, actually, I've got to say. And so that is a positive that the deaths are down. That means that the total amount of deaths that we've had in Greece since the pandemic started is now 9,950. Again, 96.4% of those people had underlying health conditions or were over the age of 70. And just to put that in context, in 2019, long before COVID had ever raised its ugly head, the average daily death rate for Greece was about 329 deaths a day. So you can put that in context with where we stand at the moment. So at the moment then, no new deaths reported here on Zakynthos, and our last death we had was just day before yesterday, and it was a 75-year-old woman who passed away. Before that, this month, we had a 65-year-old man who passed away, and also earlier in April, we had an 88-year-old woman who passed. So we had 3 deaths basically through the month of April. As for critical conditions at the moment in hospitals, at the moment, that is also down. Oh, no, sorry, that is up, unfortunately. It was 797, and at the moment, it is now 816. So the critical cases have started to creep up. That's 516 male and 300 female. Again, the average age of those people is 68 years of age. 83% of those have underlying health conditions or over the age of 70. So at the moment, yeah, the ICU numbers are starting to go up. And just to give you an idea, 900 is the number for the maximum amount of ICU beds across Greece. So again, obviously, the numbers are starting to creep up a bit, but not as high as what it has been, where it was up to about 857 at one point. But again, we'll keep an eye on those figures at the moment. Right, as for today's news then, the obligatory self-testing starts today from Holy Monday. That's now been extended, and public employees whose physical presence is required at work, and we're talking about people working for the likes of KEP, we're talking about people who work in the ECA office, we're talking about public workers, even the bin men who come and collect the rubbish and stuff like that. They are now having to self-test 24 hours before they start work, and they are expected to do that once a week, and obviously put their results online as to their state of health. Also as well, they can go to the pharmacy, present their AMCA number, and they are then given free tests to be able to test themselves. And then those test results they put online. However, they can, if they wish, go to a public facility, the health, and get the test done for free if they wish, as long as they do it within time before they are due to go to work. However, they can also go to a private clinic, where unfortunately they will have to pay if they go to a private clinic and have the test done then, all the paperwork done and everything else before they are able to go to work. And this is only at the moment for people who work directly with the public. those people who are teleworking in the case of their roles, they don't need at the moment to actually take the test. So at the moment, only those who are actually in the physical presence of another human being in the line of their duty, in the line of their work, whether they're inside or whether they're outside, they have to now obligatory do that test. And it's also been said that their free testing kits will be available. And because it's Holy Week this week, Big Week, as it is also known as, they're able to pick up 2 tests this week. So they're covered right the way through for the Easter period as well. So also as well, interestingly, when we're talking about changes at the moment, questions are being asked by the hospitality industry, the professionals there who are preparing feverishly, that's the wording the Greek media is using, for the return to work for them on May the 3rd, when obviously bars and restaurants will be allowed to open. The members of the Austere Greece initiative stated in an announcement, they said that there are many grey areas in regarding the operation of businesses at the moment, and they're calling for the government to basically give a bit more clarification on the things that it's expected of them. I know at the moment there's going to be restrictions on tables, there's going to be restrictions on the amount of people going to your business. You're not allowed to have people inside the business, but their main gripe is not so much about the physical things, but it's more about the licensing issues around running businesses. And as you know, in Greece, you have different levels of license, whether you run a cafe, whether you run a bar, whether you run a nightclub, and they all have a different level. They also all have a different tax level, and they also have different restrictions placed upon them, whether you have a food in a bag, a food on a plate, and also to the physical distance of area around where your business is in regards to what you can do outside your business and what you can't do outside your business. You may remember we've already seen during the lockdown issues regarding the cinema and about the area of space outside the cinema that has been used by the cinema owners. And that has caused anyway, in regards to businesses, they also see unfair competition as well, and they want clarification on licenses, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do inside and out. Because again, as in the UK, certain businesses who don't have an area where the public can go outside of their business, in effect, were not allowed to open. And obviously the same is being seen here. However, the Greek business owners are now sort of banding together to actually say we need clearer clarification. These grey areas need to be investigated, and we need to know where we stand before we can open, because the last thing they obviously want is heavy-handed policing coming in, obviously either to check their employees for their health, basically, because again they're going to have to be checked for coronavirus before they obviously start work again, and also to make sure that they're not breaking anything licensing restrictions in regards where their business is. So that's a story we're actually going to keep an eye on, that one, because it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of excitement for people at the moment hoping to get back to work, and also people just want to get out and go out and enjoy a meal somewhere as well. And again, while we were in oh yeah, that's another thing that was asked for as well. I almost forgot. They're also asking for an extension that businesses, restaurants, bars can have a 12 o'clock shutdown as opposed to an 11 o'clock shutdown, which was already talked about over the weekend, and there were hints being made maybe about an 11:30, but at the moment restaurant owners, bar owners are saying we'd rather it was till midnight, because again, at the end of the day, they just want to get money back into their coffers. They've lost a lot of money over this lockdown. Some businesses are probably not even going to return. So again, that's another issue that they want resolved, is about closure times for maybe midnight. And again, I know for us, it'd be nice being able to go down to our little local stecky from us, have a nice meal, and then not have to be looking at your watch and coming, leaving there at midnight, getting back into your house. For us, it would be an ideal world at the moment. And also, just to let you know, we have a feeling that maybe some businesses in Silavy may actually try and open over that period of the 3rd of May, sort of open, maybe if it's only just initially for the first few days and then at the weekends before the season fully starts again. But yeah, there looks like people who are just eager now to just get back to work and just basically see how it goes. But anyway, another little story that caught my eye yesterday was the Greek Public Power Corporation. They announced that last week that their main supply of electricity for Earth Day, which was on Thursday, they actually supplied 4.5 million households for 24 hours using exclusively renewable energy sources. Anyway, the PPC, they are the electric company for Greece, the public power company. They said that the energy consumed on Thursday, estimated at approximately 35 gigawatt hours, was completed and was completely covered by renewable energy sources. George Statis, the state-owned company chairman and CEO, said altogether we will reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 8,000 tonnes in one day, and this is just the beginning. The company said we are giving a breath to the earth with an action that has a substantial environmental impact. He was quoted as saying, through the transformation and the new strategic plan, the PPC is laying the foundations for a safe and sustainable energy transition. We are reducing the amount of carbon dioxide emissions by 75% by 2024. The company said that in the period of 2018 to 2020, energy production from lignite-powered units decreased by 61.9%, while carbon dioxide emissions decreased by 47.6%. Anyway, in 2019, the company planted more than 100,000 trees at mines. It said nothing that it aims to increase the share of renewable energy sources in the energy mix to 20% by 2023. There's a big issue with power here in Greece. I do know that certain areas of Greece have had a real problem with the old coal-fired generators, and also certain areas of Greece have really been laid waste with the exploration of coal to power these very dirty power stations. And there was also talk of new power stations being built by a German consortium that were going to be on a cleaner level. There's been some very interesting documentaries about the miners here in Greece as well, and about the hardships that they've faced, especially with the economic collapse as well. And I know the PPC here in Zakynthos is, shall we say, a bit of a controversial organisation with a lot of people, especially over bills, etc. And it'll be interesting to see how that all works out. And again, as well, we've got so much sunshine here in Greece that you would think there'd be more energy being used through sunshine. And I do know there was a big thing with the old farms, the what they call UV farms, a few years ago, and it was all going mad putting these farms up. And I know the farmers were having issues that they weren't able to, shall we say, put these UV panels into land that they had because of restrictions within the law in regards to reclamation of land for things like that. And a lot of farmers were seeing the ultraviolet light as, shall we say, another crop that was to be harvested, and they wanted to be part of the action to actually obviously make sure that their farms survive. So again, it's moving towards the right direction, and we'll keep an eye on that story as well for you as well. Interestingly, after we were talking about the Bank of Greece saying that there's going to be a mega resurgence in the country's economic situation this year through basically tourism, it was interesting that the Greek finance minister says that he's prepared to sacrifice 2 to 2.5 billion euros in income taxes to keep enterprises alive and also to save jobs. Anyway, with within this year's budget provided for income tax revenues for individuals and corporations of 14.7 billion and up to 1 billion from 2020. This is eventually expected to come to at least 12.5 billion. Anyway, the budget anticipates corporate income tax revenues of 3.4 billion, some 83 million more than last year. But the process of the declaration is now expected to bring this year's, due to the 2.5 to 2.7 billion, following the decision to reduce the corporate income tax deposit by 900 million. So they're going to give a tax break somewhere to the corporations. Now, whether they're going to take that money and reinvest it, or as what happened in America, oh, we're going to cut taxes, we're going to cut taxes. No corporation invested it in their workers or in their facilities. All they did was go and buy stock of their company so that they controlled their stock market and they controlled themselves better. So again, it's going to be interesting to see if that same play will happen here in Greece. But the article continues on. It says individuals were projected by the budget to pay about 10.2 billion, which is about 160 million more than in 2020. But that is unlikely to happen given that the fourth phase of furloughs that has already opened a hole in the tax collections, mainly from tax being withheld. Anyway, in total, the support measures that will have an impact on tax revenues, mainly in income tax, will lead to an amount of 1.8 to 2 billion that had not been factored into the budget. Besides the 900 million from slash deposits, there is also the 500 million for the programme to be subsidised through fixed corporate spending in the form of a tax credit to offset tax obligations. Now, when it comes to talking about spending, tax spending, I'm hoping that there is going to be some form of legislation in there that will enforce corporations, corporate companies, that they must reinvest back into their business and not buy stock, because that's always been the easy way out. All this trickle-down economics, it's been proved that it doesn't work. It works for the 1% at the top, but it doesn't work for the little fella at the bottom. It should be, the money should go up, not the money comes down. And at the moment, they're going to probably say, oh, we're going to have to lay people off, blah, blah, blah. But the money that they're being given back in the way of taxes should keep that person's job and not be, sorry, we're trying to save money for the company, we're going to have to let you go. But at the same focus, you've already been given a massive tax cut. So it'll be interesting to see how that is all going to play out here in the realms of the Greek finance. Also, it says as well, there is also 500 million for the programme to subsidise fixed corporate spending in the form of a tax credit to offset tax obligations, and approximately 150 million euros to help recipients of loans in the first three phases of the deep state loans programme to cover their taxes over the year. Now, that is something, again, we're wondering if this is going to be money that's coming from the EU. We do know that Mitsotakis was playing the game because basically he was wanting more money from the EU to keep the economy alive. Interestingly, you might remember that the president of the Bank of Greece, the governor there, was also saying about this massive rebound that Greece is expecting to have because of its access to loans and also cheap money from the EU. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. And again, I was also saying, I was wondering where Varoufakis, the ex-government finance minister, and also the economist, and also a great pundit on the economy of the world, I wonder where his views were and where he stands on this at the moment, because I've not heard anything from him at all, and I'll be keeping my eyes open to see what he's making of the situation with the Bank of Greece's predictions and with what the government is saying in the way of cutting taxes, basically, to allow jobs to survive. We'll see if it works. Anyway, I'm now going to go down to my finally story. and a really good story this morning. You may remember last week I said to you that TripAdvisor had done a poll of their members, I think in the UK, which was, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And at number one, we had to go down to Torquay in Devon was number one. Number two was to go somewhere close to York was number two. And at number three, it was to go to Silovy in Greece was at number three. Well, interestingly, they've redone that poll and they changed the question. And the question was, if you could go abroad, where would you go? And guess what? Who was number one for going abroad? Yeah, it was Greece. And the number one location in Greece, believe it or not, was Silovy in Zakynthos, which made me smile. It really did. And the way that the chart runs at the moment is interesting, because not only does Zakynthos have itself as Silovy as the number one place to go, but there's another location on Zakynthos which is also in that chart. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of the chart. Right, coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 10 then is Ioannapa in Cyprus at number 10. At number 9, it's Analipis in Crete. At number 8, it is Eglavina in Santorini. At number 7, it's Mykonos town on the island of Mykonos. At number 6, it's Paris. Okay. At number 5, it's Laguna at number 5 on Zakynthos. At number 4, it's Ola in Santorini. At number 3, it's Sofia at, I think that's Iia Lucia. I'm not sure where that is. I should have checked, really. At number 2, it's Kong in Ireland. Yeah, the Irish Republic is in there at number 2. And at number 1, Silovy, Zakynthos. Well, isn't that fantastic? I think that's absolutely brilliant. So we'll wait and see. I know Silovy is getting ready. They're excited. They're looking forward to your arrival, and they're working hard getting everything ready. Right, let's have a quick look, see who's tuning in at the moment. Lovely Marie Haddelberg is tuning in as well. Julie Meldrum is also looking in. Brian Cardle is also tuning in as well. Shane Bowen up there on Exmoor is tuning in. Thanks for your comments about this weekend show, mate. Shows, it's been absolutely brilliant. Yesterday's Northern Soul show was doing extraordinarily well. The lovely Ben was sending me screenshots of the server, of the locations where they're listening to the show, and it's a lot of people in the UK tuning in, people in Greece tuning in, and it was looking really good, actually. Steve Hinklin is also tuning in as well, up there in Stoke-on-Trent. Phil Ellis is also watching as well. Margaret Miller's tuned in. Steve Hinklin says, Gallimera, hope you and Jane have a lovely big week. We will have a lovely big week. To be honest, we're getting close now to Easter, and we're still trying to figure out what we're going to be doing on Easter Sunday, because again, there are rules in place. You can have 9 people in your house if it's indoors. You can have 12 people in your house if you're doing something outdoors. But again, we're still not sure how we're going to approach Good Easter Sunday at the moment. Whether we're going to do a barbecue or whatever, maybe we're going to have it on the veranda, or we're going to have it down on the out on the well. We're still ironing out the details. Anyway, nice to have Lindsay Lamb looking in as well. Gallimera, Ginge, that's from Shane. Great shows. Oh, and happy birthday to Pam as well. Yeah, happy birthday, Pam. Brian Cantwell says, good morning, Ginge. Have a good day. I certainly will. Denise Tyndall is watching as well. Sharon Barlow is watching. Rachel Hanson is watching. She says, good morning. Dean Edwards is watching as well. Rachel Hanson is watching. Sharon Brownlow is watching. John Clifford, he says, good morning from Zanzibar. Good morning. Are you wearing your mask there, sir? Are we sending aid to Zanzibar? That's what I want to know. Morning, Ginge, from Tim Crystal over there in Oxford. Pam Stott is also tuning in as well. Nice to see you looking in. Christine Plant is also watching. Christine Wildred is watching in as well. Maria Haddelberg says, good morning. Looks lovely over there. Can't wait to go back. Have a lovely day. Oh, and yesterday we saw where the Venus Beach is, actually. We never knew where the Venus Beach was that you were talking about, but we saw it yesterday and then realised, oh, now we know what she means. Now we know. It's anyway, they're doing some work on it, my lovely. It's going to look lovely, okay, for when you arrive here, whenever you get here, okay, from Sweden, all right? John Davis is watching as well. Susie Angus is also watching too. Gail Marsden is watching. Nice to see you tuning in. Yvonne Monroe is also watching as well. Patsy Ann Dobson says, good morning from a cloudy and cold Margate. Don't know what's happening with our weather. I was speaking to my mum over the weekend and she was saying how lovely it was at one point, but obviously you've lost the weather. Oh dear. Well, we've got it back over here now. Sonia Norbury is also tuning in. Nice to see you looking in, Sonia. Bob Cave is also tuning in. Can I just say happy birthday, Bob, for the other day? 61, mate. Oh, I'll be catching you up soon, mate. That's for sure. Yvonne Monroe says, morning, DJ Ginge. Thank you. Wendy Norcliffe is watching as well. Heather Beetham is also watching as well. Nice to see you tuning in. Christopher Lloyd James, very formal, is tuning in as well. Gail Marsden says, good morning, everybody. Jim LaFern, old Jim up the north of the island, up there, Ali Canaz. Nice to have you looking in, checking up. Rob Davis is also tuning in. Lyndon is also tuning in as well from Wales. Susan Waldron is watching. Cy Grinley from Wendover tuning in. Andrew the Fridge Watkins also tuning in from Wales. Ray Gibson, nice to have you looking in, big fella. Nikki Christine Skinner is also looking in as well. Debbie Wood is looking in. Skin Johnson, the old Skin Johnson, good to see you, man. I hope you are keeping well. Maybe we'll see you back here at some point, fella, once everything's good for you. Will Bland is also tuning in as well. Julie Hamilton is also looking in. Andy Johnson is watching. Old Sam Curtis in Brighton, thank you for your little list of tunes. I'm going into production this afternoon, putting the show together, the Dance Anthem show, which is going to be a Good Friday special because it's Good Friday here on Friday in Greece, a Greek Good Friday. And we have people in Margate. Margate's got a big Greek community there. There's also a Greek church there, St. Michael's, up in Cliftonville. So, and they even do all the Greek holidays that they do in Greece. They actually do them in Margate with the blessing of the seas in the new year and all that. So the old Greek community in Margate will be getting ready, I would think, this weekend for Easter as well. Anyway, cheers for looking in, Sam. Ian Booth as well, cheers for looking in. Ian says, hi, Ginge. Sam says, morning, Ginge, from a lovely sunny morning in Brighton. Well, you've got the sun in Brighton, but not in Margate. And Gary Horsfield says, morning, Ginge, the sun is out. I'm pleased to hear that. Keith Jean Bolton, the most second popular place to go in the UK, according to TripAdvisor on where could we go, anywhere, is York. Anyway, so York with Keith Jean Bolton. She didn't say what the weather's like, but she's blown me kisses. Anyway, bless her. And the weather forecast has arrived. Thank you, Amanda. I missed it yesterday because of the way that it scrolls on my screen. She says, good morning, Ginge. Lovely blue skies today. Sunshine with a cool breeze. Highs of 20 and will feel like 24. Enjoy and have a good day. We will have a good day. Just quickly flicking through. It's sunny in Shore in Oldham as well. Thank you for that. Zanti Pete says, oops, late. Good morning. Great Northern Soul show last night. Thank you, Zanti Pete, and thank you for your input as well. He's always testing me out on little questions, which I love. Bless him. Gary Horsfield says, great Northern Soul show last night. Oh, gee, you were watching as well, Gary. Oh, I'm pleased about that. Christine Brown is watching as well. And Christine Brown says, morning. Right, that's it from me. Few things to do this morning. One of it's get the rubbish to the recycling. But the weather today is absolutely glorious. It's a beautiful day. We're all excited. One, because it is the start of the Easter week. Big week is now under swing. We're getting ready, obviously, for Easter weekend. And then Monday, Easter Monday, that is when the pubs, the bars are open. Now, whether they will open on that first day is for conjecture, because, again, normally a lot of places are shut on that day, normally, in a normal Easter. But we'll wait and see if they do open. If not, there's Tuesday. There's always Tuesday to look forward to. And that will then bring us closer basically to the start of the season here officially in Greece, which is on the 14th of May. We're looking forward to seeing what Boris's announcement is going to be as well, as to what is going to happen. Now, interestingly, Boris's announcement after this weekend in London, where it has been noted that the mainstream media, i.e. the BBC, didn't cover at all the big demonstration that took place in London. We've also been looking at a lot of online footage that had then initially was up and then taken down. Basically, they didn't want people to see the numbers, and also reading some of the independent media where they reckon that it could have been as many as 500,000 people marched in London on I think it was on the Sunday against the lockdown. The Daily Mail run one story about it where they were saying about how 8 policemen were injured, and basically trying to paint a very negative picture of this march. But for 500,000 people to march in the streets to say they're fed up of the lockdown that's going on in Britain, we've done everything that Boris has asked us to do. We want to get ourselves back to work. We want to get ourselves back and our economy up and open. We want to have the retail sector back to where it should be. And when are you going to let us out? Basically. So again, we're sat here now with bated breath, believe me, to see what decision Boris is going to take in regards to international travel for people wanting to leave the UK without a fear of a €5,000 or £5,000 fine, and be able to make their own choice where they go on holiday. We're waiting to see with bated breath to see what happens. So please be aware, a lot of the mainstream media are playing some crazy game at the moment of trying to spread fear, spread this. And if you're somebody who questions the lockdown, questions what's going on, it's you've got the problem, not the government. All right. So once again, I'll keep my ear to the ground. I'll keep my eyes open. And once again, Greece is open. We're ready for business. We are looking forward to you all coming and you having a good holiday here. And you are safe. We are in the green zone. We've had the lowest rate of infection. We've had the lowest rate of deaths over the whole of Europe. And for what Greece has done, it's a credit. OK, but let's not the naysayers in the UK try and paint a picture that we're keeping you in the UK for your own protection in case you bring something back, which, to be honest, is a load of bollocks. All right. So anyway, you have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. I'll keep my ear to the ground. And again, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. And on the Facebook page, please like and subscribe. Sorry, not on the Facebook. On the YouTube page, like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, I'll catch you later. You take care. Ta-ra.